Do we millennials really look young for our age, or is this more of our own myth making?
Welcome back and happy Tuesday, turkeys. How long have we known each other?
We've known each other for 2 decades.
I am not apologizing for who I am or what I like or the people that I love.
How do I be a wife? How do I be a mom? And how do I be myself and all of that? You didn't see that coming, did you?
I guess I should begin by asking you, do you feel like we look younger for our age than the past generations do?
That's a very interesting question because I feel like depending on the decade, like, am I wrong to feel like in the 50s and 60s, everyone looked younger than they were because all they did was smoke cigarettes and like, I don't know. But then then we got into a time where like people may have looked older. Okay, here's what I'll say. If our generation does look younger, I feel like 40% of it is just because that's our viewpoint and our perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And 60% of it is the rise of Botox and all the things that people do.
Okay, that's fair. Let me show you what inspired this. It was a meme as per my usual. Here we go. So for people that are just listening, it's a picture of Kayla. What's that white-haired dude's name?
Couldn't tell you, but he's in everything.
Fart.
I'm not good with actors either.
I know. It's some guy that's supposed to be funny from from family movie shows in the 90s and thousands, and I don't like him, so I don't know I don't know him. I don't like his movies, and I therefore do not know his name. But what you're looking at is a guy with white hair and wearing a suit with his wife who has, I don't even know what that is, a 90s bob and dark red weird lipstick and a high neck sweater with a collar and pearls. And the caption I keep seeing on this is what they wanted us to think 40 or 45-year-olds look like in the 90s. And we definitely don't look, that is not what people in their mid-40s look like now.
No, not at all. I wonder why they did that. And I know this movie, but I don't know what movie it is.
I know, it's one of the ones where he's in a family and something's funny. Anyway, I go back and look at pictures of my mom in her late 30s and early 40s, and I think some of it is that people dressed older. And I don't even know that it's trends. I feel like there was maybe more of this, we're parents and we have to look a certain way. Is that what it is? And people nowadays don't feel that they have to dress a certain age.
I feel like
there's definitely
hairstyles
40-year-olds at the gym with belly shirts on.
Oh, yeah. I think the culture of fitness influencers and leggings and just social media could also play a role in it because people, I feel like, are trying harder. I don't know. Maybe not everybody for sure, but maybe there wasn't so much societal pressure. But I feel like hairstyles back in the day also just made people look older maybe than they were.
Maybe it's also the makeup. You know, like heavy foundations and stuff like that. I don't know what it is. I sort of feel like it's true, but I also feel like our generation has this thing where we think we look young for our age. I don't know where that comes from. I don't know why we all have that. I don't know if it's because our generation seems to be delaying having kids. And so maybe there's longer periods of not even immaturity, but longer periods of youthful behaviors.
Possibly.
I mean,
I also feel like our whole millennial group just may be so in love with our millennial group that we see like us as younger people because everyone says the 90s was the best era. How many times have we all said it? Like I feel like we're the best generation. I know that's not accurate, but like, do we just think everything is better because that's just how our brain is? But it's also like when I was younger and I would look at older people and they said like, oh, like I'm 35 or whatever, I would be like, oh, wow, like you're older. But now it's like, I'm not that far away from that. And also I have friends who are a little past that age and I don't see them as 38, 39, even 40. I just see them as like around my age. I don't know. Are we delusional?
I don't know. That's really what the heart of what I want to get at is, are we delusional? And why are we delusional?
You know, it's funny if YouTube does take us out from blue balling, that's what's it called? Shadow banning.
Blackballing?
Bad.
Shadow banning?
Shadow banning. Someone's gonna say something in the comments like, you definitely look old. But I don't know. I feel like in my brain, when I look at myself, I'm like, I could pass for like to be in my 20s still. But then I also get around my 25, 26-year olds employees. And I'm like, I am a little different. And I don't know if that's just personality wise or like looks wise, but I'm thinking, well, now that I'm around you, I see the gap widening a little bit for me. I am older than I think I am. So maybe that's like, I think I am slightly delusional, but I also feel like maybe we have, like you said, more of a youthful spirit because of culture stuff and not having kids as early like other
Yeah.
generations did.
I don't think we are we don't adhere as much to the rules either of, now that I'm this age, I have to behave X, Y, and Z in more stereotypes. I think there are exactly what you said. I don't feel like I'm in my 20s, especially when I'm around people in their 20s.
Yeah.
But I do feel like I look younger at 34 than past generations did at 34. Maybe not Xers, but definitely boomers.
And I'm thinking about a picture of my mom that just popped up on my memories. And she does look, she's around my age because it was right after I was born, but she looks like when you just pinpoint her face, she looks really young. And mom, you're going to listen to this, but it's not on you, but this, the hairstyle and her outfit that I'm thinking about. Does she just, but here's the thing, does she look older in my head because that's an older past generation style of clothes?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if we were there, I don't think we would feel the same way. Maybe it's
Maybe
literally
that's what
just
it
the
is.
fashion.
Maybe. I just remember looking back at pictures of my mom and she was wearing these weird old lady dresses. In some ways, I feel as though my mom looks younger today than she did when she was 45.
I
So
see that.
maybe it is the clothes. Here's my other postulation. If that's I don't know if you can station that. Anyway, I also do feel like that working out makes a big difference with the continuation of being able to be active, because I obviously see a wide age range, and I work with a huge array of folks of different ages. And I have some coworkers that are in their 50s that could not get down on the ground probably and play with grandkids and then still be able to get up without assistance, or their exercise is limited to walking exclusively. And again, none of these are bad things, but it's just interesting when you see that versus my mom's 60 something now and goes to the gym and goes for runs. And that's been normal to me. So then I sort of will be confused and shocked if I meet someone who's her age who is doing full on granny lifestyle type things. I mean, your dad's another good example of somebody that's running circles around younger people on the tennis court.
Yeah. My mom
So
too.
I know our generation has had more opportunity probably to be active and to be in the gym and to maybe like maintain muscle mass. Maybe that's part of it.
Okay. Do you have a future question? Do you feel like in 10 years, when we get into our 40s, then it's going to completely shift for a lot of people because there's a lot of people that are losing muscle mass right now?
It'll be very interesting to see. And I'm not talking poop down to the people. I just don't think that women were encouraged to go to the gym or they were doing step aerobics, and people didn't. If you had an office job and you weren't using your muscles, you were naturally going to lose muscle mass. And then you weren't encouraged to do exercise that would build muscle. And so much of that helps with posture and mobility, and there was not access to like accurate information on protein consumption.
Right.
Just lots of things that we all have access to now with the internet and information. It's also interesting because I work with older folks and I get conspiratorial about food and some of those things. But I'll be around people in their 80s and 90s who are extremely spry and bopping around and doing quite well. And then I'll see folks in their 50s and 60s worse off. And they're definitely within those time frames was the period of people cooking and eating a lot more food, either themselves or more locally, and then before a lot of the fast food stuff took off. But part of me also wonders if some of it is the convenience foods of some of that age range with, Hamburger Helper and margarine and all the other weird things that were shoved on 80s moms. Maybe some of that contributed to some of the decline, and maybe some of our generation is trying to autocorrect a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're again stuck in that interesting time of like we grew up with a simple life and still not knowing much, and then we got access to phones and all this information. And so like again, we kind of have both sides of it. Um, what does that do to our skincare routine? I don't know. But um yeah, it's interesting. I feel like my general thought is with some people delaying to have kids, like even me, like what I'm not 34. I am 34. Damn it. Like having a second kid at 34 is still pretty young for like our age range, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
But delaying that, cultural differences with like, I'm gonna wear whatever I want, even if I am a mom or even if I am.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'll let you breathe for a moment because I definitely agree with you that the cultural permissions are different. Also, it's so funny to me that 34 sounds such an appropriate age to have a second child. And I think when we were kids, we had plenty of friends' parents who were in their 30s with 10-year-olds and above. Someone having a kid at
Yeah.
22 to me right now sounds as if a child is bearing children.
Oh yeah.
And it's interesting that past generations and within certain cultures in the US, that's still totally
Mm-hmm.
a normal age.
But yeah, I just feel like with social media and culture, I just feel like we have a youthful spirit and we're trying still to hang on. Now, is it just in our mental delusions or is it portrayed out to the world? I don't know. But I still feel good. So I'm just gonna call it that and be content in my own little bubble.
Yeah, I'm just nosy. I want to know if Gen Zs, how old they think do they think we look old?
Is
I
Gen
know
Z
they
the one
must
right
be able to
under
spot
us?
us. Yeah.
Probably. Even like
I know we don't wear baggy clothes. Is that the problem?
exactly, exact. I was just gonna say, if you step outside with skinny leggings on, which all leggings are skinny leggings, right? Like, and you show your ankle, for sure, millennial. You gotta like wear baggy clothes, or if you're gonna wear leggings, you gotta have higher socks and like the old man dad shoes, which are in. I don't know why. I think it's our clothes that get us, man.
They
Until you get
must be.
close. And if you really do get close, like I'm kind of noticing some neck stuff going on. But I think from like afar, like first reaction, it's close.
I feel validated in that I still get carded, and I feel though that must stand for something. If I get carded from someone who is obviously younger than me, it feels like an accomplishment.
Yeah.
I always tell them, you guys, I got that, they're looking at my ID, trying to look at my date of birth. And I was like, I got the 1-9.
Yeah. That's so crazy. Yeah. Anything 1-9, we're fine.
Do
But
you
what if
want to
it's
be
just
disturbed with me that people born in 2000 are 25?
no, that's disturbing.
Okay, I need the older generations to also tell me, do you all also feel that you are this young? Because I know that older people will tell me a lot. They look in the mirror and they don't feel inside the way they look outside. And so I know that this is definitely a phenomenon that is not unusual to our generation or to myself. However, I feel like I have this huge time warp of how old things are, because I saw another meme that said, basically this is how old or what you imagine a 30-year-old car will look like, or even a 20-year-old car. And it's, something from the 70s
Mm-hmm.
or the 60s. And then in reality, that's something from 2000.
Well, just think about it. We're in 2025. If you go back 25 years, that's 2000. When we were in
Yes,
2000, back 25 years was 1975.
I think that's what it is. All of my calculations are suspended at the year 2000.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because the years have jumped. I don't know if
Or the
COVID.
world ended.
Yeah, I don't know if COVID did something to the time warp in my brain. I don't know what it is, but I feel so convinced that something is weird compared to other generations, and I need somebody to either disagree with me and articulate why so I can get on board, or agree with me.
I'll wait for that because that would be helpful.
Be helpful. Maybe if I post this on TikTok, one of those nerds will comment, because usually they're good for information, and for some reason TikTok has allowed us to continue and YouTube won't let more than one person watch our video. Okay, anyway, until next week, this has been enlightening, and I love you.
Bye. Someone's gonna call us old, by the way.
That's fine.
I'm okay.